I thought I'd stream this. This is Medieval Dynasty. I was doing this in VR for a while. Built up a nice little village. But this is the full version of the game. So what we're going to do is, what goes up nature? They've got Facebook, Discord, Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube. So we're gonna just do the valley. This is the standard single player campaign. So it starts out with a neat story. And I'm going to go easy. And let's just go with that. Let's just turn it to easy and see how it goes.
I used to have a simple life. Whatever needed doing round the farm, I'd do it. Being the eldest son, it's tough. But at least we had a living, and our plates were never empty. Then, the war came. I lost everything overnight. The last thing I remember is Father pushing me away, yelling for me to run, to live. At first, I didn't know what to do. Then, I remembered. A story my mother once told me. A story about my uncle, Jordan. He made a modest fortune up north, in a peaceful valley far away from the war. For weeks I held on to that thought, until the valley from my mother's stories. I could see it. This is where I can start a new life.
So I'm thinking this will just guide me through the game on easy. Obviously shooting an arrow at a wild boar there with the sun behind. Sneezed a whole bunch before I started the stream. So I feel stuffed up right now. So this is nothing like the VR game. The VR game is like very low res. Not this kind of detail. With the big trees. It's reminiscent of, you know, Red Dead Redemption 2. What's the other one? Far Cry 5. This is better though. This is a lot better than Far Cry 5. Oh, there's a stick. Collect resources. Okay, I remember that. Go to knowledge. Right there, okay. Get some sticks, get some rocks. Looking around. Oh, saw something there. More sticks. Is that a stick? No. Huh. Oh, so there's a waypoint up here. Got the leaves falling a little bit there. Some more sticks. Something. Oh, that's a bird. That's a big rock. Stovia. There's a little settlement there. That thing could go up in a flaming ball with a couple of sparks. Look at that. Stovia. Little fence.
But usually, the best ones live the shortest.
Talking to yourself over there? Okay. Look at this, look at this. You can watch her through the window. You can see the heat rising from what I believe is the stove. It's got little flowers painted. That reminds me of Rome. Yep, it's a stove, all right.
Greetings, stranger.
Ah, so I can buy some stuff. Have you heard of anything interesting? What'd she say? Nothing new. Ooh, let's do romance. Sorry, I'm not married. But I'm married. Okay. I heard that the travelers that usually sit by the campfire might be interested in someone like you. Oh, where can I find wild mammals? Not the right person to ask. But
Have a good day.
Get back to work. Look at this. I mean, the detail on that roof. Wow. This is a lot different than the VR game. Wow. Huh. What you doing in my house? Get out of my house. Oh, this is making logs. Yep, I see. This is not how, well, I guess it is. This is where you learn how to do all these things. Like this guy.
Be welcome, stranger.
Have you heard of entry? Where can I find small talk? Could you move a little? What the fuck?
How do you do?
Small talk. What's on your mind? Quite fortunate. The soil is full of trade. Okay, hard work you'll be. Well, teach me. Alright, that's enough. Oh, I better head over to this waypoint. Let's see, it seems to be somewhere over here
Oh, damn, woman.
in that building. Okay, how do you get in that building? Ah, passed it up. This guy? Yeah. Are you alright? You look like you've seen a ghost. Sorry, you must have mistaken me for someone. I'm new to these parts. Just arrived valley, actually. Wonder, son, aren't you? Nephew? Not really.
People from Hornitsa sometimes look down on
Let's
us.
see.
I wonder
Damn it, this world sign.
about our food.
Sorry, my boy, no one knows their... It's such a... Okay.
Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. I prefer the old Castellan.
How are all those candles lighting up by themselves?
Oh boy. Okay, I guess you gotta just go through all this text. I'm not a big fan of that.
Finally, the flawless awakening.
I do want to see... Oh, unhide HUD. Wow, check that out. That's pretty cool. Photo mode, customize game, settings, UI, graphics, performance. I want to do quality. Accept. Sound. That's about right. Controller's pretty good. Let's jump. B. Crouch R. That makes sense. Huh. Notification duration. Let's keep it at, let's increase that. And then unstuck. I'm not sure what that means. Huh. That's weird. What if I can... Huh. Interesting. It would be funny. Set the whole place on fire. Watch the, watch the whole thing burn down. That would just be too funny. Stuff you could, this is stuff you could, like Grand Theft Auto or type of thing. Let's see. Well, I'm supposed to talk to you again. Or there's another person up here. Oh boy. Oh, here we go. So there I am. Kind of reminds me of what's that game called? Let me see. The Witcher 3. That's what this reminds me of. I've got a game saved for The Witcher 3 I could load up. Just work on that instead of this. I just thought I'd give this a try and look around. This is a lot bigger than the VR version. I like the VR version because, it's easier to read. This is kind of more like a PC game where you would be sitting closer to a monitor. And the text, I was going through the settings. Looking for a way to increase the font size, but there isn't. Not that I know of. And then apparently this. Let's see if I can crouch down under the water. No. Very shallow river. Punch. You can punch. I wonder if you can see how this works. Get nasty here. No, not working. That's a woman, so maybe you can't do that to women. Oh, these are all women. The men are out hunting. Well, the ladies, they live longer because they're not out hunting and fighting in wars. Of course, not necessarily. They had childbirth. I was back in Morrison, Illinois, walking through a graveyard, just remembering we used to play Ghost in the graveyards when I was a kid there. And I was noticing all the women just did not live long in the early part of the last century. I mean, just grave after grave. This is kind of cool. Look at that horse.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Look at that.
And the king seems to be doing just fine.
The detail. Wow. Those wheels are kind of buried in that mud. That's interesting. But this is a really kind of cool. I remember 25 years ago. Yeah, about 25 years ago. I was looking at Halo, it was going to come out in the next few years, and looking at screenshots, and then I heard about this type of game that was like this, where you're just in nature and you're walking around in nature like this. There was no real point. It was just everything back then was Half-Life types of games, and very simple, directed, going down corridors. And there was nothing that was really open world where you could walk around like this. You had skyboxes, limited areas at which you could walk, but nothing like this back then. That's a, uh-oh. Oh, hit that tree, did you? Run. Oh. I think that's pretty much run. Yeah, there was nothing like this. That's a buffalo. Yeah, my health's kind of... Buffalo took it out of me. Yeah, they got the same music as the VR version. But the VR version, I can, you got your VR headset on, you can read the text a lot easier, and it's a much lower res game. Very enjoyable game. So, anyway, that's all I remember. It's been a long time, and I remember seeing those and thought how cool it would be to just walk out in nature like this. Until you meet a buffalo, of course. Or a bear or something big. But, so this is, it's something. You can do this. Anyway. That's all I'm going to do for this stream. Just a little intro.